Hi everyone, and welcome to Learning English through News Highlights using Microlearning. Today, we're talking about an important and interesting topic, seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, and how it's more than just the winter blues. Jenny, let's dive right in.
Sure. Seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, is a type of depression that happens during certain seasons, usually in winter. Now, you might hear people say things like, "Oh, I feel the winter blues." But SAD is more serious than that. It's not just feeling sad for a day or two, it's a medical condition that affects about 5% of Americans, including 5% of people in Utah. That's a big number when you think about it.
Right, and when we say winter blues, it's a term people use informally to describe feeling down or low because of the cold and dark winter months. But the difference here is that with SAD, the symptoms are more intense. Let's talk about those symptoms. People with SAD feel very tired, lose interest in activities they usually enjoy, or even feel hopeless. It can also affect their eating and sleeping habits. Jenny, imagine someone who loves reading, and suddenly they don't have the energy to even pick up a book. That's sad.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to take it seriously. Sometimes, people think it's just a part of winter and they try to ignore it, but that's not a good idea. Let's explain a few of these symptoms in simple terms. Feeling tired means you don't have energy to do things, even simple things like cleaning or cooking. Losing interest means you stop enjoying things that used to make you happy, like hanging out with friends or watching your favorite show. Can you think of an example, Tony?
Sure. For example, if someone loves playing soccer every weekend but suddenly doesn't want to go, that could be a sign. Or, if someone starts sleeping all the time but still feels tired, that's another sign of SAD. Now, what about treatments, Jenny? Can it be treated?
Good question, Tony. The good news is yes, SAD can be treated. There are different ways, depending on how serious it is. One common treatment is light therapy. This is when a person sits near a special bright light for a certain amount of time every day. The light is designed to mimic the sunlight we don't get enough of in winter. Another treatment is talking to a therapist or counselor. If the symptoms are very strong, some people may also take medication.
Let's take a minute to explain light therapy because it might be a new term for some listeners. Therapy means treatment, and in this case, it uses light to help people feel better. Think of it like this: imagine how sunny days often make people feel cheerful. Light therapy tries to recreate that effect. For example, someone might sit near this special light in the morning while reading a newspaper or eating breakfast.
Yes, that's a great way to put it. And you mentioned talking to a therapist. Let's explain counselor and therapist. A therapist is a person trained to help others deal with problems, including emotional ones. A counselor does something similar, but they might focus more on giving advice or helping with decisions. For example, if you feel really sad and don't know why, a therapist or counselor can listen to you and help.
That's right. And we should also mention the importance of recognizing SAD early. The sooner it's treated, the better the result. Some people might not think they have SAD because they don't know the symptoms. That's why it helps to pay attention to how you feel during certain seasons, like winter. Jenny, have you wondered why this tends to happen in winter specifically?
Yes. It's interesting you brought that up. The main reason SAD affects people in winter is because there's less sunlight during those months. Sunlight helps your body make something called serotonin, which is a chemical in your brain that makes you feel happy. When there's less sunlight, your serotonin levels can drop, and that might cause sadness or depression. Tony, should we give an example of serotonin?
Definitely. Here's one: imagine being at the beach on a sunny day. You feel relaxed, maybe even joyful. That's serotonin at work. But now picture a long, dark, cloudy winter day. You might not feel as happy, and that's partly because of lower serotonin levels. So when there's less sunlight in winter, some people's brains don't have enough serotonin, and this can lead to SAD.
That's why light therapy is popular, because it mimics sunlight. But aside from professional treatments, there are also small changes people can make in their daily lives. For example, going for a walk in the morning when there is sunlight or eating healthy foods. These might not cure SAD completely, but they can help improve your mood. Another thing some people do is stay connected with friends or family to avoid feeling lonely.
Great point, Jenny. Staying active mentally and physically is really helpful. And speaking of words we've learned today, let's quickly recap some of the vocabulary and phrases so our listeners can remember them.
Sure. We mentioned winter blues, which is a casual way to say feeling sad because of winter. But remember, SAD or seasonal affective disorder is much more serious. We also talked about symptoms, which are signs of a medical problem, like being tired or losing interest in activities.
We also explained light therapy, which is a special kind of treatment that uses bright light to mimic sunlight. And don't forget serotonin, the brain chemical that makes you feel happy. Finally, we discussed therapist and counselor, people who are trained to help with emotional or personal problems.
And that's it for today. We hope this helped you understand what seasonal affective disorder is and how to talk about it in English. Remember, it's important to take care of your health, especially during the darker months of the year. Have a bright and happy day, everyone, no matter the season.
Absolutely. Take care and stay warm, everyone. See you next time.